He was just a regular soldier, in the middle of a burning war zone. And then she appeared. An alien woman, glowing, deadly, beautiful. She didn't attack. She didn't speak war. She just whispered, "What do I have to do to marry you, human?" His squad froze. The enemy paused. Even time felt like it stopped. And when he asked her why, she said something that could change the future of Earth forever. "But you're not ready for that. Not yet." Welcome to a new story. I'm Michael, and I'll be your voiceover artist for this channel. Let's dive into today's wild tale of humans, aliens, and a very dangerous question. She stood on a mountain of junk, wearing a black suit that didn't belong to this world, eyes glowing like fire trapped in ice. And she looked straight at the human soldier. "What do I have to do to marry you, human?" Yeah, this isn't the story of a normal war. This is the story of an alien princess who crossed galaxies, fought her own kind, and offered her heart to a man who didn't even believe in love. But before that happened, she was just a shadow, in the middle of metal scraps and smoke. And he was just trying to survive the war. The desert wind howled across the wasteland. Old machines lay broken, burned, and forgotten. And in the middle of all that mess, Alex Carter dragged his feet through the sand. He was bleeding. He was tired. And he was alone. His squad had scattered after the last ambush. Enemy drones still buzzed above the clouds. He only had 2 bullets left in his gun, and no one coming to save him. Then, he heard a sound. Not metal. Not machines. Footsteps. Soft. Slow. Confident. He turned around fast, raising his weapon, and saw her. Tall. Perfectly still. Skin like smooth steel. Hair so black it shimmered purple in the sun. She wasn't human. That much was clear. Her bodysuit looked like liquid armor. It hugged her form like it was part of her skin. No weapons. No scars. Just eyes. Cold. Beautiful. Deadly. "Who are you?" Alex barked. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she tilted her head, like she was studying him, like he was some ancient puzzle she wanted to solve. Then she said the words, "What do I have to do to marry you, human?" Alex blinked. "What?" "I asked a question," she said calmly. Her voice was soft, musical, but strange. It didn't fit the war zone around them. It felt like it came from somewhere safe. He lowered his gun just a little. "Why would you say that?" he asked. "Are you messing with me?" She stepped forward. "I escaped my world to find you," she said. "There are things you don't understand yet. But I will show you." He took a step back. "I don't need showing. I need to get out of here." A loud crack exploded behind him. A drone fired from the ridge. Alex ducked. But before he could fire, the alien woman raised her hand. And the air bent around her fingers. The drone dropped from the sky, crashed into the junk with a flaming burst. He stared at her, shocked. She didn't even look at the fire. Her eyes were still locked on him. "You're in danger," she said. "They're hunting both of us now." Alex raised his gun again, confused. "Wait, why both of us? You said you were looking for me, why?" She smiled. But it wasn't a sweet smile. It was the kind of smile that hides secrets. "Because you matter," she said. "You're not just a soldier. You're the answer." "To what?" he asked. "To a prophecy," she said. "One written before Earth even knew how to build fire." He stared at her, dry wind blowing between them, and for a moment, he forgot the war, forgot the wounds, forgot the fear. He just looked at her and wondered, what if she was telling the truth? Alex didn't move. Not yet. His heart was pounding. And not just because of the danger. This alien woman, she looked like no one he had ever seen. Spoke like no one he had ever known. And yet, she spoke his language. Used words like marry, prophecy, escape. As if those things made sense in the middle of a battlefield. He took a breath. Slow, heavy, filled with dust. "What prophecy?" he asked. She stepped closer, only a few feet away now. Her presence felt strange, like heat and cold at the same time. Like lightning hiding in a smile. "My name is Zyra," she said. "I am the third daughter of the High Matriarch of Virel Prime." She touched her chest lightly, almost like a salute. "And I have chosen you, Alex Carter." He blinked. "You know my name?" Zyra nodded. "I've known it since before I ever saw Earth. Your name is written on the Skystone. You are the human male who must bind with a Virelian queen. Or both of our species will fall." Alex shook his head. "This is insane." "You think your war is big," she said. "But there are bigger wars out there, coming closer every day." Alex lowered his gun slowly. "You escaped your world, just to marry me?" She nodded once. "Yes." He let out a half-laugh. "This isn't how humans do things." Zyra's lips curved slightly. "I've studied your ways. Some humans give flowers. Some get down on one knee. Some write songs." She leaned closer. "I crossed galaxies." The wind picked up again. A sandstorm forming in the distance. But neither of them looked away. "You don't even know me," Alex whispered. "I don't need to," she said. "I feel your soul. It burns brighter than most." She looked down at his scarred hands. "You build. You protect. You suffer, and still keep going." Her voice softened. "You're rare." Another drone buzzed past. This time, it didn't fire. It was scanning, searching. Alex ducked behind a broken engine. Zyra joined him. "You're not safe here," she said. "They are tracking me. And now they are tracking you too." "I didn't sign up for this," Alex muttered. "You didn't have a choice," she replied. "Fate made it for you." He looked at her again. Really looked. She was perfect. But not in a fake way. There was something sharp in her beauty. Like fire behind glass. He finally asked. "The people chasing you, who are they?" "My mother's army," she said. "They think I'm crazy. They want me to marry a general, to keep the power inside the royal bloodlines." "But you chose a soldier from Earth instead?" Alex asked. Zyra smiled again. "No. I chose you. That's not the same." The sky rumbled. Ships were moving above the clouds. Alex knew what that meant. More trouble was coming. He checked his weapon again. Still only 2 bullets. Zyra touched the side of his gun. "You won't need that," she said. "Then what do I need?" he asked. She leaned in closer. Her voice was just above a whisper. "You just have to say yes." The sky cracked open. Thunder without clouds. Engines without mercy. A massive black ship broke through the atmosphere. Its size alone made Alex feel small. It hovered like a dark god above the desert. Watching, waiting. Zyra stood up slowly. Her eyes locked on the ship. "They found me," she said softly. Alex rose beside her, gripping his gun again. "It's your mother's people?" Zyra didn't answer. She was already staring into the distance. A low hum grew louder with each second. And then they appeared. 3 tall figures, cloaked in dark silver armor, rose from the sand like ghosts. Their eyes glowed red. No mouths. No skin. Just living metal and quiet hate. The lead one stepped forward. "Zyra of Virel, you have disobeyed the throne." Its voice was cold, like ice scraping metal. "I made a choice," Zyra said. "My heart belongs to this human." The 3 figures glanced at Alex. Their heads tilted, mechanical, emotionless. "This, male, is not of royal blood. He is weak, primitive, corrupted by war. You will return. Now. Or we take you by force." Zyra stood taller. "Stronger. If you try, I'll destroy every one of you." The wind screamed louder. The ground shook slightly beneath their feet. Something ancient was waking. Alex took a step closer to her. He didn't know what she was doing, but his gut told him this wasn't just about love anymore. "What's happening?" he whispered. Zyra didn't turn her head, but her voice was clear. "They don't fear you because you're weak, Alex. They fear you because you can change me." The lead armored figure raised its hand. A silver spear formed from the air itself. "This is your final warning. Return, or he dies." Zyra's hands glowed. Soft white light pulsing through her fingers. "I am not a princess anymore," she said. "I am something new." Alex looked at her, really looked. Something inside her was changing. Her skin shimmered like stars trapped in glass. Her eyes had fire in them now. Not rage, but power. Real power. The spear flew straight at Alex's chest. Too fast to dodge. But Zyra moved first. One step forward, one flash of light, and the spear shattered before it touched him. The energy wave knocked the armored enemies off their feet. Their armor cracked, sparked, and they vanished in a blink of smoke and static. Alex was left standing in silence, breathing heavy, confused, amazed. "You saved me again," he said softly. Zyra turned to him, her face calm, but her voice trembling ever so slightly. "If I hadn't, I would have lost my future." Above them, the ship retreated. For now. But both of them knew. That was only the first warning. Night fell fast in the desert. The wind turned cold. Shadows stretched long across the sand. Alex and Zyra moved through the dark, past twisted metal and broken bones of old machines. She said nothing. He didn't ask questions. Not yet. They reached a jagged cliff where the earth had split open years ago. A deep wound in the planet. Zyra led him down through the cracked rock. Into a hidden cave. A place untouched by war. It was quiet there. Too quiet. "This is where it began," she said, her voice barely louder than the wind. Alex looked around. Old walls, carved with strange markings, glowing softly in blue. Alien symbols that moved like they were alive. "What is this place?" he asked. "A memory," she said. "A warning." Zyra walked to a stone pedestal in the center. She placed her hand on it, and the walls lit up. A hologram sparked to life. A glowing map of galaxies, stars blinking like slow heartbeats. And at the center, two planets, linked by light. One was Earth. The other, he didn't know. "This was made long ago," she explained. "When humans still lived in caves. When my people ruled the stars." Alex stared at the floating map. "You've known about Earth all this time?" She nodded. "Your kind was supposed to die. But you didn't. You fought. You built. You survived." The map zoomed in. A shape appeared. A creature of metal and shadow, surrounded by fire. "What the hell is that?" Alex asked. "The thing coming next," Zyra whispered. "The real enemy." She looked at him then. "Your world thinks this war is about land, politics, power. It's not. It's about preparing. For them." Alex felt his throat go dry. He didn't fully understand. But he believed her. The map vanished. The cave dimmed. Zyra stepped close. "I wasn't just sent to marry a human," she said. "I was sent to bind our futures. To create an alliance, through blood." Alex raised an eyebrow. "You mean, a real marriage?" Zyra's eyes softened. "Yes. But not just a ritual. Not just words. A bond. One that links two hearts, across species, across time." He looked away for a second. This was too much. Too fast. "I'm not ready for this," he said. Zyra touched his hand. "I wasn't ready either," she said. "But sometimes, destiny doesn't wait." There was silence. Then a soft growl from the back of the cave. Alex turned fast. Gun raised again. A shape moved in the darkness. Not a drone, not a soldier. Something older. Zyra stepped forward. "It's okay," she said calmly. "It's one of the Watchers. They guard this place." A tall creature appeared. Thin as a shadow, with golden eyes and bark-like skin. It didn't attack. Instead, it spoke. "The bond has been offered, but has not been answered." Alex swallowed. "What does that mean?" Zyra didn't look away. "It means, it's your turn to choose." The Watcher stood like a statue. Eyes glowing. Voice heavy like thunder trapped in stone. He must answer the bond, or the light between your worlds will break forever. Alex stared at the creature. He didn't understand everything, but he understood the weight. This wasn't just about him and Zyra anymore. It was about two worlds, two futures. He looked at Zyra. She didn't move. She didn't beg. She waited. Strong, proud, but quiet. He could feel it. She wanted him to say yes, but she wouldn't force it. What happens if I do it? He asked. If I say yes? The Watcher stepped closer. The fire will open inside you. Your blood, your mind, your spirit. They will no longer belong to Earth alone. Alex took a breath. This was no joke. No game. Once he stepped forward, there was no turning back. He looked down at his hands. The hands that had held rifles, built walls, buried friends. Could they really hold something like this? Will it hurt? He asked softly. Zyra answered this time. Her voice warm. Yes, but only for a moment. After that, you'll never feel fear the same way again. He laughed once, dry and tired. I already feel too much. She stepped forward, closer now. And that's exactly why you were chosen. The cave pulsed, like it was alive. A blue light lit the floor beneath them. Symbols crawled up the walls like fireflies. The Watcher raised his hand. A flame floated above his palm. Not hot, but deep and old. Step into the circle, it said. Alex hesitated. Looked back. Even though there was nothing behind him but stone. No escape. No more running. He stepped in. The flame moved to his chest, pressed into him like a brand, but didn't burn. It changed him. His breath caught. His eyes widened. He saw stars. He saw Zyra's world. He saw the war coming like a storm. And then he saw himself, standing beside her. Not behind. Not in front. Beside. The light faded. He dropped to his knees. But Zyra caught him. It's done, the Watcher said. The bond is sealed. Alex looked up at Zyra, and she smiled, really smiled. For the first time since they met. You chose fire, she whispered. No, Alex said. I chose you. Outside the cave, the sky had changed. The stars above were moving. Ships were coming. But now, he wasn't afraid. The wind outside howled like a beast. Cold, sharp, angry. The sky above was no longer quiet. Black ships floated in the clouds like silent vultures. Zyra looked up, her face tight. They're here. Alex stood beside her, his body still glowing faintly from the bond. Something had changed inside him. He felt it. He heard things more clearly now. He could feel Zyra's heartbeat, like it echoed with his own. A deep rumble filled the desert air. The sound of the High Matriarch's ship. Zyra's mother. Alex tightened his fists. What does she want? Zyra's eyes narrowed. She wants to break the bond. She wants to take me back. And erase you. Thunder cracked. A beam of golden light shot down from the sky. And from it descended the general. Tall, armored in pure obsidian. Eyes like dying suns. He was the one Zyra was supposed to marry. The one she had rejected. He landed without a sound. You bonded with the human, he said coldly. Zyra didn't answer. You chose dirt, weakness, over blood and legacy. Still, she said nothing. The general turned his eyes toward Alex. You don't know what you've touched, he said. That flame inside you is not love. It's poison. Alex stepped forward. Funny, it feels more like truth to me. The general's armor cracked slightly. His voice dropped. You are not one of us. Alex smirked. I don't need to be. The ground shook. A shockwave blasted the sand into the sky. And in seconds, the fight began. The general moved like lightning. Zyra countered with a force field. Alex fired his last 2 bullets. And both shattered before reaching the target. The general raised his hand. A black blade formed from his arm. And he aimed it straight for Alex's chest. But Zyra moved first. She blocked it, barely. The blade slicing across her arm. She cried out, And Alex saw red. Not just blood. Rage. His bond flared. The flame inside him exploded, and the sand beneath his feet turned to glass. He didn't know how he moved. Didn't know what power filled his hands. Only that the general flew backward, slamming into a cliff with a roar. Zyra stumbled. Alex caught her. "You okay?" She smiled through the pain. "You fight like a Varelian." He grinned. "And you love like a human." They turned to the general, who was rising again, face twisted with hate. But now, he wasn't alone. Behind him, the matriarch herself descended. Tall, cold, eyes ancient and cruel. She didn't speak to Alex. She looked at Zyra. "You would throw away a dynasty for this thing?" Zyra stood straight, even while bleeding. "I didn't throw anything away," she said. "I chose something better." The matriarch raised her hand. A pulse of energy shot forward, so bright it swallowed the air. Alex shielded Zyra. The bond wrapped around them both, and the blast bounced back into the sky. Silence. Smoke. And then, Zyra kissed him. Not gently, not shy, but fully, as if war didn't matter. As if they had already won. The matriarch vanished. The ships retreated. The desert stood still. And for the first time in forever, Zyra wasn't running. The desert lay quiet. Smoke drifted through the air like ghosts with nowhere left to haunt. Zyra and Alex stood side by side. Wounded, tired, but not broken. The warships above slowly vanished into the clouds. The matriarch had left without a word. But the message was clear. This wasn't over. Zyra touched her injured arm. The cut glowed faintly, healing itself with alien light. But her eyes stayed on Alex. "You could have died," she said quietly. Alex shrugged, still catching his breath. "But I didn't." She looked at him, really looked. The bond between them hummed softly now. Not fire, but warmth. He reached out and took her hand. "So, what now?" he asked. "We just walk into the sunset?" Zyra laughed, and the sound surprised them both. "No," she said. "We walk into the stars." She turned toward the cave, then toward the sky above. And for the first time, Alex saw it clearly. Not just the stars, but the road. A ribbon of glowing energy stretched from Earth's sky into space. Invisible before, but now open because of the bond. A path of light. A bridge between two worlds. Alex's voice dropped. "You knew this would happen?" Zyra nodded. "The bond wasn't just about love, Alex. It was the key. Only with a human heart connected to mine could we open the gate." He stared at the glowing sky trail. "And if I hadn't said yes, Earth would have been alone," she said. "And we would have fallen when the real enemy arrives." She stepped closer, lowering her voice. "But now, we stand together." Alex looked back at the desert one last time. His home. His war. His past. Then, he looked at her. And smiled. "You sure I'm not too boring for a space queen?" Zyra smirked. "You? You're the craziest decision I've ever made." They held hands and walked forward. As their feet touched the edge of the light, their bodies rose slowly, lifted not by machines, but by the bond itself. Above them, the stars pulsed, and somewhere, far away, in the darkest corner of the galaxy, something else was watching. A shadow with no name, no face, only hunger. But it paused, because it had felt the bond awaken. And for the first time in centuries, it knew fear. The end.